Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be a client's layers of me reading. This is actually one of my most popular readings back in the day. This was one that I came up with because I had so many clients who, you know, they would purchase a reading and then they would want to know about all these different areas of their life. And I came up with layers of me. It's basically we tap into you, your future, your money or career, and your love life and your spiritual self. So there's a lot of like little pieces that we tap into. You are welcome to customize this reading. Like you can ask certain questions, or you just allow me to pull at it intuitively. So for this reading, I'm going to be working with the Victorian Romantic Tarot. This is the 3rd edition. The Psychic Tarot for the Heart. And I pulled the Oracle of the Gaia Oracle. I've never filmed with this deck, but I felt so called to pull it for you. So hopefully it will prove to be a pretty good reading. So my client is more so focused on their career path. They are going back and forth about wanting to go back to school to get their master's degree, but they just don't know if this is the right decision for them. So that I'm going to keep that in mind as I am pulling the cards for you. But of course we're going to look at other dynamics of your life because that is what this reading allows us to do. So, but the main focus will be your future, you know, your career path and all of that. So basically this reading is done intuitively. It's somewhat similar to the intuitive tarot session that I do, but the intuitive tarot session, you're limited to the number of questions you can ask, and it just doesn't go as in depth. So first off, we're going to do your energy reading, and I was focusing on you before the reading started. And I gotta say, you have a lot of blue energy around you. So your aura, you know, a lot of blue. Blues are very intuitive people. Blues are very emotionally attached, or emotionally just sensitive, okay? But I was seeing a lot of blues surrounding you. You have a lot of water energy around you. I don't know if people in your family are water-oriented or you are, but I was feeling lots of water vibes. I'm also feeling like the word herb came to mind. So I don't know if you work with herbs, you do things with herbs. You know, if you make oils or you know, do candle making, whatever, but that came to mind as well. I could have seen herb for the association of like spell work and that kind of thing. So maybe you do a lot of intention work with you know, spells and your craft or whatnot. Okay. So your energy right now. Ooh, we have the Sacred Heart. Passion, love, spiritual communion. I love it. So talking about the blue energy that I was seeing around you, that water vibe, to have passion, love, and spiritual communion is so what I was tapping into. So I love that. That is basically saying you're very connected spiritually. You are probably at your strongest point in your spiritual path. You do a lot of, like I said, energy work. You may do a lot of spiritual work, spell work, whatever you call it. Your craft is very uniquely your own. Sacred Heart is also making me feel like maybe you are in a protection zone right now of your heart. You're very guarding of it. Okay. Your heart could be in a process of healing right now for that sacredness to come through, or maybe it is you just always hold this to be your true key to yourself. Like you're very careful with who you do and don't let into your sacred space. Okay. but very guarded of your heart. I love that that came up for you. I think that that is so, that pretty much aligns with what I was feeling about your energy, being very watery. And just so you know, I don't use a specific spread. I'm just pulling cards intuitively. So in case you guys were wondering, those of you guys who are watching, this is an intuitive reading. So I just pull with what feels right. We have 5 of Wands to your past, and we have Ace of Pentacles to the future of yourself. So 5 of Wands could be a past of coming into you pretty much left a very stressful tension, lots of tight tension, stress situation or people. This could have been a friendship dynamic that you walked away from. This could have been certain family members that you don't see much often anymore. This could have been a job that you left in order to find some peace of mind. But 5 of Wands is problematic. It's a lot of competition. It's a lot of arguing. It's a lot of, you know, just different opinions, different personalities that clash. But it's in the past, so I love that because it means you have walked away from this sort of dynamic. It is no longer a part of you, but it still pops up. It pops up either there's still lessons to be learned. Maybe that is why your heart is sacred, because there's a process of forgiveness that's taking place with these people or this situation. But whatever the case, it is in the past, okay? So we don't want to tap into this as our present. We want to leave it in the past. Your future, we have Ace of Pentacles. I love that. So future this is an opportunity. The fact that we're doing the reading mostly concerning your career path, the Ace of Pentacles is kind of like that beginning, that initiation of receiving an offer. So I love that that is what's quickly coming up in the future, as that could evolve into, like I said, an offer, an opportunity, okay, growth. It could be just you feeling like it is finally your time to take the torch to do something new. We have Page of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, the Tower, 4 of Cups. So I feel like, now I don't know if you have kids or not, but if you do have children, you may feel like you have been so focused on them and their lives, but now this Tower moment is kind of like the shift, okay? So if you do have kids or if you don't, then the Page, I can interpret this to be certain people in your life, or it could just be seeing yourself in a new light. Pages are also students, so that is also something to keep in mind too, because that can also reflect in your future of, you know, becoming a student once again to finish school. But the 4 of Pentacles beside the Page made me feel like you were giving a lot of your time and attention on the children or on other people or other areas. And perhaps now you're seeing a shift, as the Tower card is kind of making me feel like you're seeing an initial rockiness to your foundation where it's calling for change to happen. And that's when you're going to be really given the Ace of Pentacles opportunity. Okay, so do I see that process of school coming up? Yes, I actually do, especially with the Page. But I feel like that 4 of Cups is saying, is it really what you want, or is it what you think you want? I mean, I feel like this is one of those things where you know that going back to school and finishing up and getting your master's degree would be the most amazing thing. But is it truly what you want, or is it what you think you're supposed to do? And I feel like that's what you're faced with. So let's pull from the Psychic Tarot for the heart to see what your mind, what your heart is saying. Love abounds. Joy and stability. Spread your wings. I feel intuitively, I feel like this is saying, love abounds is saying, trust what's in your heart. Trust what direction your heart is guiding you to. I feel like, honestly, taking the next step when you finally feel like everybody else is at peace in their life. You've been doing things, you've been doing like mommy stuff, or you've been doing wife stuff. You've been tending to everybody else's situations and everyone else's life. Now it's time for you to listen to the calling of your heart. And if your heart is leading you to finishing school, I feel like the Spread Your Wings card is saying, go for it. The path is there. Okay? So that's your energy right now. Let's look into the love life. just because I want to just get the love portion taken care of. So let's look and see how marriage is doing. Ooh. These cards are a little bit bigger than what I'm used to, so shuffling them can be a little tricky. Love life. Oh. We have moonlight and harmony. Moonlight, travel, romance, potential, okay? And we have harmony, power, self-confidence, and productivity. I love it. I feel like the combo of this card is saying for your marriage, a need. Maybe the two of you have been discussing getting away for just a little bit. Just the two of you. If you guys have been discussing that or have been feeling the need to set some time aside for just you two, I feel like moonlight is kind of like planet around a full moon, if you want to get super witchy. But also think of honeymoon setting. Think of like tapping back into, you know, your own personal honeymoon. If you never had a honeymoon with your husband, then perhaps this is guiding you to say, make it happen finally, you know. Let's set some time for you two to reignite that romance. Especially because a Tower card popping up can reveal you may be going through some big changes and shifts in yourself, and you want that support system from your husband. You know what I mean? And then we have harmony. Harmony is kind of revealing the marriage is good, that you guys have a really good combo together. You guys have a good connection going. But I feel like moonlight is kind of saying it's time to, with the Star card, oh, and the Ace of Cups, it's almost saying like it's time to add a little bit of healing and some sensuality to this marriage, okay? I love it because the Star, she's so sensual. Look at how beautiful she is. And I feel like it's, the Ace of Cups is the flowing of emotion. It's time to let things, like, you know, let it flow. There's a lot of water here, by the way. A lot of water energy here. So perhaps that is what your marriage needs. It needs a little bit more of a refreshing energy. It needs life brought back into it. We have Four of Wands. We have Five of Cups. And we have Knight of Swords. I love it. So I feel like let your husband be the hero at times. I feel like with this Knight of Swords, as he's holding this, you know, this woman, this I think she's an angel. Let your husband be the hero at times. Let him take care of you. Let him nurture you. Let him do, you know what I mean? Like, you don't always have to be the strong one in this dynamic. Let him take the lead sometimes. The Four of Wands is like stability and in the household. I feel like it's necessary for the two of you to get away because maybe there is a busy or a hectic household at your place, or maybe there is lack of privacy for the two of you. So this might be necessary. And then the Five of Cups is kind of like leaving things in the past, okay? We don't want to tap into stuff that maybe once was a problematic situation in your relationship. We just leave that stuff in the past. Especially if the Five of Cups might be showing regrets, okay? This might be regrets of, you know, your relationship turning into exactly what you guys didn't want it to. Maybe you're seeing it becoming more of a routine and it's boring or lacking passion, that kind of thing. So definitely, oops, I didn't shuffle these. Definitely let it, let this reading show you guys just need some you time, okay? So we have rebuild. I love that. Rebuilding this is rebuilding the strength in your relationship. This is rebuilding the four pillars in your marriage. This is rebuilding love, sensuality, romance, you know, sexual energy, all of that. dreams coming true. I feel like this is like with the hands, it's almost like your hubby is supporting your dreams, and he will be there to support your dreams as you go on to this next phase. Change your focus. So changing focus could be, maybe he's saying, I will handle the stuff at home if you need to take hours away to go do school and study. Okay, that could be what that is. Changing your focus is like, don't worry so much about having to be the person taking control and being in control of everything. Maybe that's why I was intuitively feeling this is saying, let hubby take the reins, you know, let him take care of you. Okay. Powerful. Very, very, very powerful. Okay, so now we talked about your energy. We talked about your love life. Let's talk about your career and money. And then we'll go talk about your spirituality in the future. So I told you guys, this is like a nice reading. It goes into everything. Literally goes into everything. So career and money, we have purification, water. Remember I was saying in the beginning, your energy is focused on water. I love that water comes up for you in the career and money portion. So this is saying this is what your current energy is around. It is absorbing water. It is revolving around water, and it's revolving around this area of your life, your career and money. Okay. This is emotional cleansing and rejuvenation. Freaking love it. It is basically renewal. She's also very similar to the star card, like I was talking about. Everything is connected. We have just breathe, strengthening bonds, and teach. Wow. If teach doesn't say, it's not like a keyword for student, teacher, going back to school, that kind of thing, I don't know what else of a sign this is. You know what I mean? That is a sign. Also, we have just breathe. Sometimes you have to quiet your fears. You have to shut everything off. Turn off the mind chatter. Really tune into your heart, your water source, your intuition. And then we have strengthening bonds. It's basically, I feel like this is you strengthening the bonds in yourself. This is a path that is going to require you to do what you need to do versus, you know, what expectations are of you. This is strictly for you. I love it. Now look, we have the Ace of Pentacles popping up again. Remember in your energy portion, this was the future. Here she is, Ace of Pentacles. So that is another sign. The Ace of Pentacles, the future of school, the future of, you know, this whole dynamic. It's there. We have Two of Wands. This could indicate maybe the decision, having to make you're at a crossroads and having to make a big major decision. This could be maybe deciphering between two schools, you know, two possible pathways of as far as this whole going back to school is concerned. But it could also show the need for maybe traveling a little bit further for school if it is the kind of school that you want to go to. Okay. And then we have King of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is fear, okay? Eight of Swords is having to take yourself out of a fearful situation, getting outside of your head, stepping outside of your thoughts, the thoughts that are causing you to have doubts and that sort of thing. So the Eight of Swords is almost like telling you to free your mind, and that is exactly what King of Swords is. King of Swords is your communication. It's your thought process. And King of Swords can be very intimidating, and that could be you are your own worst enemy as I'm seeing this, okay? I'm really seeing this as saying you're your own worst enemy as far as your thoughts go. You will pick at every little piece of yourself in order to kind of figure out, is this really what I want to do? Is this really, you know, the move, the next step that I'm supposed to take? I thought I pulled a second deck, but I guess not. So, I feel like, honestly, my love, like, should you go back to school? I feel like you should. I feel like this is the direction that you're taking. We have so many signs here with the Teach card and with the Ace of Pentacles popping up again. This, your future, that opportunity that we're talking about, it revolves around your finances and your career path. It revolves around you finally taking initiative to do what it is you want to do in order to obtain the career that you want. Okay? And if that requires going back to school, then that is what you should do. I freaking love it. I love it. Okay, now let's talk about the last portion of this reading, which is your future and your spiritual connection. Well, it's usually like future and or spiritual, but let's just take it as, you know, your future and what comes through. These cards get so like warped. So sometimes you have to like bend them the opposite way because then they get so warped. Oops. Your future and your spiritual connection. Let's look at it as like what your future has to say and what spirit wants you to know. Ah, there we go. Flame tree, the start of something new. The start of something new. I love it. So future goes, as far as the future goes, you are definitely on the verge of something new. You are in a new beginning process. When you are starting something new, you're going to know it. It's also a 30 card, so let that be maybe the end of the month or the end of a month, okay? So it doesn't have to necessarily be the end of November, but it could be like the end of a month maybe is when you decide to go to school. Wouldn't that be crazy if like the first day of class was the 30th or or like around that time, or your classroom number is 30? I mean, that would be fucking weird. That would be wild. But basically the Oracle is saying there is a start of something new on the horizon as far as your future goes, okay? We have challenging times, strengthening bonds, and lead. So this path, it won't be easy. It's not going to be easy going back to school. I will tell you that right now. It's going to have challenging times. You have to have your armor on. You got to be prepared. You're going to have to be mentally ready to take it on, okay? So don't go into this expectation that school is going to feel super easy and you're going to jump back into it like you were before the last time you were in school. You're going to have to mold yourself and get used to being in school and being in study, okay? I think that's what, I feel like that was what it's saying, is like, just go into this knowing you have to prepare yourself. It's not going to be super, super easy. Strengthening bonds. This could be, like I said, strengthening bonds with yourself. This could be making peace with what your true initial path is. You're answering your call, your future, your own personal purpose, okay? You know, you may find that you will find something completely new that you want to be a part of in life, and you wouldn't have known had you not taken this path. And then the lead card is saying you got to really put your best foot forward. You are your leader. You are your role model. Basically, you have to take the lead. You got to be in focus. You need to be the one in charge, okay? No one else is going to do this for you. It's going to come from you. We have the 10 of Wands. Again, 10 of Wands, like I said, it's a challenging time. It's going to be a little bit, you know, a little hard. It might feel like an uphill battle, especially as your body and your mind, you're getting used to school, that kind of thing. We have King of Wands. So King of Wands is like, you know, making sure that when you're taking your classes and you're picking the stuff you want to do, make sure it revolves around what your true passions are, what you're passionate about. Don't waste time taking classes that are not as important to you or that you don't really need. Make sure it surrounds passionate. What you are passionate about. And then we have Hangman. You got to go with the flow. So even though you are leading, you know what I mean, you're being a leader in this situation, Hangman energy, I want to say, is go with the flow. I also feel like it's you observe your path, your experience through eyes of other people. You have a lot of people who are probably going to give you praise for going back to school, for finishing this, doing that. You're going to have a lot of people, just as this Hangman has a lot of, like, an audience watching her, you're going to have a lot of people, a lot of eyes on you. Don't let that sway you. Don't let that, you know, make you afraid and nervous and whatnot. Just know that there will be a lot of people watching your every move. They want to see just how successful you are in this path. So, do I see good things coming for you? Yes, I do. It's actually exciting. I think that this is so necessary for you. I feel like this is the next phase of your life. At least that's what it feels like to me. We've had so many signs validating that this is what you're supposed to be doing. So, there you have it. And then lastly, let's just pull for your spiritual message from your guides, your higher self to you. And I'm going to pull a single card from each deck as we close out this reading for my clients. We have flow. Like we were just talking about with the Hangman, flow. Also think in terms of water, your water energy that I was seeing for you with the flow. The Eight of Swords. That's that fear card we were talking about. Having to step outside of your mind, your limitations. You are your biggest enemy. You limit yourself so much with your thoughts and your fears. Oh. Remembrance, resurfacing of past feelings and emotions. So, your guides, your higher self, whoever you want to believe that this message is from, they are revealing, for one, the remembrance card is when you are in your darker moments, when you are in that Eight of Swords mindset, when you are fearing the future, thinking about all of your limitations, it comes from the past. And remember how I was saying in your past was the Five of Wands? Your past of struggles, competition, you know, dealing with people, that kind of thing. That is what is kind of coming up again for you when you try to do something good for yourself in your future. So I feel like your guides are kind of giving you that gentle warning is when you find yourself getting back into that mindset, that negative thinking, that fear mindset, it's because of the past, okay? Those are issues that you need to heal from, forgive, and move on from. Do not tap back into them as taking them on as a present role. You are beyond that, okay? Like I said, the Eight of Swords is your fears. Your biggest obstacle is yourself. Your Eight of Swords. You are your biggest obstacle. When it comes to these kind of situations, I feel like they're saying to flow, go with the flow. Allow divine timing to take place and accept and honor the fact that your guides, your intuition, you will be led in the direction that you need to go. I like how this is kind of like a compass looking, and I feel like it's just saying sometimes you just have to trust your heart to take you where you need to be. Trust that your higher self, God, your guides, whoever, will take you where you need to go. Sorry about that. My puppies they're howling. So with the flow card, like I said, that's very similar to the Hangman energy. Definitely as far as your career goes, your future, you are going to have to trust divine guidance. You're going to have to trust yourself your inner heart, your calling to take you where you need to be. And when this card comes up, it also reminds me of you can't control everything. Sometimes you have to just let yourself go where you're supposed to be. So I hope that makes sense, my love. Anyways, my love, thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you. This is the Layers of You reading. So anyone who is curious about this reading, it is available. I have it in my shop. So just click the link in the bio. It'll take you to my website. And you guys can purchase the Layers of Me. It is one of my most popular readings. I brought it back not too long ago because I wanted to give people that option to tap into all areas of themselves. So this is an idea for you to have, like, what that reading is like. And like I said, it's fully customizable. So if you don't want to tap into the areas that I set up, you can tap into 4 or 5 different areas for yourself. Okay. With that said, I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you guys for following, subscribing, and loving what I do. I can't wait to read and connect with all of you. And to my client, I wish you all of the best. May you have a beautiful future. Bye, my loves.